Hello and welcome to this Q&A video for the Waters Technology Awards. My name is Rick Boos and I am speaking with the winners of Best Reconciliation Platform and Best Reference Data Service, SmartStream. In this video is Radha Pillai and Linda Kaufman. And I'll be going through them with some questions about their win and, well, how they achieved it. So starting with Radha, who's the Regional Director for SmartStream Technology in the APAC region. On your win for Best Reconciliation Platform, can you explain to me how SmartStream's TLM Reconciliations Premium offered a consolidated and scalable digital infrastructure solution to markets? And what's more, can you tell me how has SmartStream's team managed to improve the interoperability and integration between its systems?
Thank you, Rick, and thanks for having us here today. It's an honor to have won the award, and SmartStream Technologies has been in the reconciliations and exceptions management business for many years, over 30 years now. And we have used these 30 years of experience and feedback from our over 2,000 clients that we have across the globe to come up with our market-leading enterprise reconciliation platform, TLM Reconciliations Premium. Various clients of ours have invested in the solution to utilize it across their operations and risk control requirements across various different business lines. And what this then gives is a consolidated solution that allows them to scale across their, for example, financial markets operations functions. If you're looking at banks, they have reconciliations related to trades and positions, which they utilize the platform for. The same bank is then able to use that investment for their treasury operations, reconciliations and treasury confirmations requirements, or their nostro and cash account reconciliations and exception management requirements. The bank can then further extend this and utilize this within their retail banking and digital banking environment as well, where you're seeing large volumes of data, and our digital payments control module, which is part of our reconciliations premium solution, is utilized by various clients to handle the requirements related to cashless transactions, related to internet banking and digital banking transactions. And not just in these areas, there's so many other use cases within financial institutions, whether they're insurance companies, within their finance operations, or whether it's to do inter-system reconciliations across the front office and back office systems within our organization. So I think one of the key elements here is we've taken feedback from the various use cases over the 2,000 plus clients we have had. We've consolidated it into a single platform that provides an economies of scale and allows the organizations to better leverage the investment they've made into this platform.
Thank you. I think there was a very thorough explanation of that, but I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, which is what are actually the new functionalities of the new AI modules, and how will these support businesses dealing with large and complex amounts of data, which is a common problem these days, in order to deliver the higher quality results?
That's a good point you raise here, Rick, because I think we are seeing a lot of interest in clients and the market demand for AI capabilities within all of our solutions. And within our reconciliation premium solution, we've had AI capabilities for almost 3 to 4 years now, and we're constantly building upon those capabilities. So some of the areas where we have AI capabilities built within our reconciliation premium solution is around the onboarding of reconciliations, where we are seeing the need to automate, for example, the process of taking different sources of data and being able to correlate the data within the various sources to be able to then onboard it into a reconciliation or control framework. Similarly, we are seeing AI use cases that we have built into our solution around data enrichment and to improve the data quality and therefore reduce the breaks that the organization have to manage in their day-to-day reconciliations and exception management function. Some of the data quality and enrichment related functions are related to, for example, correlating an abbreviated form for product or counterparty into a full name. This is a simple example. Other areas around matching prediction. So whereas traditionally reconciliations involved a time-consuming task of doing data analysis to understand the attributes of the data and then predefining certain match rules to be able to reconcile the data, we are now using AI to be able to predict, to be able to do the data analysis, take away the manual work from a large labor force and do it within our AI model. And similarly, the AI, our affinity module, which is what we call our AI module, is able to learn from users' past actions on certain types of transactions in terms of what was matched and be able to start predicting matches going forward. And as it's doing this, the AI affinity module is giving explanations as to why it matched the data and how it correlated the data. So it is a glass box. It's not something that is unknown to the business and the users as to why the AI module has been matching the transaction. So these are some of the areas where we have seen vast improvements in terms of the time it takes to onboard reconciliation, reducing the number of breaks that you have. And as we are seeing big data, we are seeing large volumes of data that clients are having to manage these days, going from tens of millions to close to 1 billion transactions a day. I think the AI capabilities are a fundamental piece that are required in our solution. And then these are some of the areas that we're helping.
No, it's no surprise why AI is on the uptick still. Linda, we're now going to move on to you. This is Linda Kaufman, the Executive Vice President of Data Reference Utility globally for SmartStream. And I'd like to ask you about your win for Best Reference Data Service. And specifically, could you elaborate on the enhancements to SmartStream's Reference Data Utility, the RDU, namely the API and the Exchange Notification Service, the ENS? Now, how can clients actually benefit from those, and especially the drive-in cost efficiency?
Sure, and we are honored, as Radha said, to be recognized in this category. The creation of the reference data utility was built on the idea of providing a utility built by the industry for the industry, and that still holds true today. So any enhancement, whether it be data sets, new product offerings, are all born out of a collaborative engagement with our client base and industry thought leaders. So in the case of our expanding API capabilities, which you just mentioned, the market was very clear that they needed rapid and flexible access to high quality data. So firms are looking to drive down the costs of integration and decrease the time it takes to build that new functionality and have it come to life. And so those factors, coupled with the move for many to the cloud, makes APIs an attractive tool to leverage. We found that the APIs are especially helpful and useful in the regulatory space and for those that require access to historical data sets. So for instance, in the historical data sets, there's so much data. And so if you can access that data via an API and you don't need to store that large amount of data on site, it really saves users from a cost perspective and an implementation perspective. They can really pull the data according to their requirements when and as needed. And then you also mentioned the Exchange Notification Service, which is one of our newer products. And that kind of has an interesting backstory. It came to light a little slightly different than many of our products typically do. So as part of our listed derivatives service, which is another set of data that we provide, our team, our data operations team, who are subject matter experts, monitor and track exchange notifications across 106 different exchanges. And they track that in order to make sure that our listed derivatives data is timely and accurate for those that purchase that product from us. And so we were providing this service, and one of our larger ETD clients came knocking on the door saying, hey, we want to understand how you get the data correct on your ETD data set. And so we proudly showed them that we track all of these exchange notifications, and they said, wait, we want that as a service. And so we developed our exchange notification service, ENS service, which normalizes notifications, is available semi-real time via a push API based off of, a client coming to us knocking on the door saying, how do you do this? And, oh, you do it well using this tracker. We want it as a product. So it was going back to a utility built by the industry for the industry. This was a very good example of that. And the ENS really from what benefit it gives our clients, it's really about lowering cost, decreasing risk, and arming their analytic teams with the vision of how the data is going to look in the future. So the notification will allow the client to know that in 3 days, in a week, in a month, that the financial instruments are going to change a bit. And so they can predict better in their models.
Fantastic.
It's a good owner. Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I mean, but look, if you could, I hate to ask you to do this briefly, but briefly looking ahead, because there's a lot to talk about. What is driving the innovation of SmartStream's reference data solutions? How does SmartStream's team continue to leverage AI, machine learning, and observational learning capabilities, provide these high levels of accuracy for data?
Yeah, so RDU is a data integration and a data operations provider. So we're a bit on the both sides of the fence. So we're technology and also operations. So we strive to be as automated as possible, and that's where a lot of the innovation comes into play. We want to, ensure that our we operate in a very flexible and scalable platform. And so the whole point of creating a utility really was so that our users can lower costs by sharing the technology and data costs across all of our client base. And so with that in mind, we will continue to move away from expensive infrastructure to modern technical stacks. And we'll continue to look for ways to use technology, whether it be by leveraging AI, machine learning, et cetera, to drive automation. Bringing in as much automation as possible allows our really highly trained data operations team to work smartly, which in turn allows RDU to offer, really unique data sets that may be not be worth the effort to other data providers to offer because they're heavy lifters and, it takes a lot of effort to get that data accurate. But if you can build the automation and work smartly, it's a set of data that we're happy to provide to our clients. And then I guess lastly, on the AI piece, we see unlimited possibilities with respect to integrating our data into solutions that leverage AI. And so, for instance, we have a solution at SmartStream where AIR, which is our AI component, uses the RDU regulatory data to provide a MiFID II transaction reporting solution, a reconciliation solution. So having a solution that uses AI is that much more powerful if you know that the data going into your AI solution is accurate. So I really feel that there's a lot of partnerships between AI solutions and our data sets that will be leveraged over, and that we'll see growing over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and it looks like AI continues to be the future then. Well, congratulations to you, Radha Pillai and Linda Kaufman, and of course to SmartStream overall for these 2 wins, for Best Reconciliation Platform and Best Reference Data Service. I'd like to thank you for your time taking part in these questions and I think filling in our audience about why you guys really deserve this win. So thank you and congratulations to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick.